Good evening and salutations, my YNR fans. Here's the thing about this episode. Half of it was interesting. The other half was super boring. Um, I didn't really care much about the wedding stuff, to be honest. Allie and Noah just kind of there to be there. Mariah, just I don't want to sit there and say acting like a diva, but she's being like super strict, makes sure everything gets done. I mean, I get it, it's important, but I'm like, weddings are supposed to be fun. And even Kyle went downstairs and was like, yeah, let's just chill out a little bit. Let's have some pastries. Let's just, this is a celebration. When are they actually going to sit there and cut that boy's hair? Harrison? I'm just like, how long are we just going to go before somebody decides, what, let's just take him to the barber. Let's do that. Let's see. I didn't really care much about Summer and Nick. Their father daughter time, I guess, was nice for some people. It didn't really work for me. Um, Funny thing, because I talked. Okay, I did this twice, so if I said this again, I apologize. So yeah, you got Victor and Victoria acting like a bunch of vultures. Talking about Nate and how it's up to Nate. He's going to be helping us out and stuff like that, and Nick is like, you do realize that there's a good chance that we can get in trouble by like the FCC, right? Like what we're doing is very risky. But Victoria's like, no, 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 it's gonna work out, it's gonna pay out, just don't worry about it. You know? Nick was like, you know what, listen, my opinion on this, I'm not doing this. So he decides to just leave because, he has the wedding to go to. So he leaves. Victor's like, yeah, I'm not going there. He was like, first of all, I'm not going in a hornet's nest. Um, and plus, he wants to sit there and handle like the certain business aspect of whatever they got going on. I don't know. From what it sounds like they're going to sit there and buy up some shares from Chancellor and Winters, and they're using Nate to do it. Um, the way I look at this whole thing, I'm like, what happens if Nate gets caught? Or is Victoria going to sit there and take care of him? Going to sit there and just bring him over and, um, oh, it's fine. You can sit there and work at Newman Media. That's going to be interesting. Um, you got Nate hanging out with this woman named Adria. I think that's her name. And, she's really feeling him. She's like, hey, is there anything fun to do? And he's doing nightlife and stuff like that. You should really go with me. She keeps asking a bunch of times. And at first she's like, kind of work together. It's not really a good look. And then he's just like, no, I'm seeing someone. Seeing someone? You mean a girl that left your place to go stay at a hotel? That's the girl that you're seeing still? The one who said she doesn't recognize you. Her? Um, And I get it, they didn't break up. This is just separation. But I don't understand his character sometimes. I mean, when Amani was there, you can tell like he's not stupid. He can tell that this woman was hella flirting with him. Um, Also giving him terrible advice, but flirting with him heavily. And when Elena brought it up, he tried to make it seem like she was the villain, like she was the she was the bad girl for bringing that up. And now he has this other woman that's not there doing the exact same thing. And he's just like, no, 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 no. I'm seeing someone. Like, what are you doing? Why are you just not there hanging out with her outside of work? You should have just shut that whole thing just down. I mean, granted he did, but it's like I feel like she's the type of person that's not gonna take no for an answer, and he's gonna sit there and keep keep her around, maybe to sit there and stroke his ego or whatever. Now, Devon just finished talking to Elena. He finds out that, she moved out. She didn't rat him out yet, okay? Which is really odd for her, because she's going to be working with Chancellor Winters. She's going to be doing a podcast, I guess, with Chelsea. But I'm like, what Nate is going to be doing to the company, to the people that's involved. Practically just going to be screwing them over. And you're still looking at Devon like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have somebody that's technically, like, okay, here's the thing. She's not backstabbing the company, but she knows somebody is. And to sit there and look at Devon's face, like, when he finds out that she knew about what he was doing, he's going to be pissed off. Okay? No one likes to be lied to, especially the look you in the face and practically is knowing that you're going to get stabbed in the back, you know? Um, now before, no, actually, no, this is after. So yeah, Devon comes. I guess he goes to what is it, society? He goes there. He sees Nate, and I'm gonna keep mispronouncing the name till I get it right because, well, if you went to any of my live streams, you know that I am not good with names. Andrea, or I think that's her name. Anyway, he sees both of them together. He's like, "Hey, was there a meeting that I was not aware of?" And um, Nate's to talk about, oh, she wants to sit there and do some nightlife, or she was like, hey, I want to sit there, see if there's anything to do at nightlife, and, I asked him and stuff like that, so they're talking, and the look in his face is just full disapproval, but it's, when he goes back to talk to Lily, he's like, I need Elena to be a positive influence, because apparently they got some new IPO that they're going to be launching, and he needs Nate's head in the game. Um, and Elena is a positive influence. So he's like, yo, he talks to Lily, and Lily's like, yo, what he does during his off time is not our business. You need to sit there and have more faith in Nate. Sad part is that if he wasn't doing this whole going behind the company's back to practically screw them over, then I would be like, yeah. But knowing that he's doing this and to saying have faith in somebody who, well, pretty much was not following rules from day one, stepped out of line more than once. Um, Sorry about that. I had to sit there and take a quick call. But yeah, no, Nate's been. The thing is, Nate is not used to really taking orders, so he's been screwing up a lot. Um, so I get where Devon is coming from. Now, I want to talk about Diane and this new mystery character. I know that the actor's name is Trevor. I couldn't really um, I couldn't find his name, like, like, what is his character? Whoever he is, he has close ties to Diane. He helped her a lot when, she was in Los Angeles. And not really that much is known, except for the fact that Diane doesn't want to be even seen with this guy because they're gonna blow her whole plans of um getting close with her family and probably getting close to Jack, where she wound up apologizing of kissing him. Jack was like, no, it's cool, you just kind of misread the situation. Now during the ceremony towards the end of the episode, I guess after they renew their vows or whatever, you hear a helicopter. And I'm like, well, that's a hell of an intro right there. And I have a feeling it's going to be Trevor's character. And we'll finally get a name because I'm sitting there looking because I haven't watched Y&R in a couple of weeks. So when people told me that, oh, he's going to become known as a mystery character, I'm sitting there thinking, right, it's been a while. What is his name? Or he don't have a name yet? Okay, cool. I guess I'll just sit there and put him as mystery character question mark. Now Diane, now Nikki gets back. She drops off the dress. Um, she's having little side conversations with Phyllis, like, oh yeah, my meeting was very productive. When she was there talking to Victor, she was like, yeah, Diane was pretty much kind of living a high life. She was lying about her living situation. I'm like, okay, so what? She was driving a Bentley and what she was being taken care of by some guy. Like, I don't understand. Like, why is that so? Ooh, she was driving a Bentley. Like, okay, you know, when I hear people sit there and say they are liking the Diane storyline, like that's the most interesting part that is really keeping them, still watching the show. And I'm just like, I don't understand. Like, did she kill someone? Is she hiding bodies? This is the stuff that I need to know. Not what she was lying about her living situation and she was driving fancy cars and stuff like that and it was owned by some corporation. I'm like, what? So she comes up to Phyllis. She's like, yeah, I got some news on Diane by Deacon Sharp. Um, and of course, Phyllis like, yeah, we gotta sit there and run her out of town or whatever. Some crap that she was in there saying. I'm not saying it. I'm really not saying it. Um, I'm not saying it's a totally terrible storyline. I'm just looking at this like, what has Diane done? You know? The only thing that you sat there and said is that she lied about her living situation. Okay? Granted, there's probably more to it, especially seeing the fact that she doesn't even want to be seen with this guy who is outside the hall making a scene, which is very funny, by the way. I'm like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Now Billy was not there worried about Chelsea as far as Connor or Johnny. No, it was Johnny. He was not there talking to Lily about that situation because that got him rattled and since they're talking about, oh, I'm kind of regretting my decision to tell Connor the truth or Johnny the truth, and I'm just like I get it, I get it to some extent. As a parent, you're gonna blame yourself anytime your child is in distress. You know, they would have blamed themselves, and I think that's the part that's just like not really resonating with me. They would have blamed themselves if Johnny would have grew up and finding out that Chelsea was his mother later on in life. He would have been like, "Why do you not tell me this? Why do you not feel like I can handle this? Why are you undermining me? You know, why do you feel like I wasn't strong enough to handle it?" Now I can't believe you sat there and told me. Why did you sit there and do it? You ruined my whole world. It's like, do if you do if you don't. You know? I'm trying to get it from, I'm just saying, I was like, I'm trying to get it from a parent's perspective, but to be honest, I'm not a parent. So maybe I don't really, maybe that's why that part of the story is just not resonating with me, because I'm not a parent. And I feel like if you're watching the show and you are a parent, it is one of those things where it's like you're going to feel um, worried and stressed and regret your decision either way. And I think that's just what I'm not connecting with. And I guess in that way is I'm not really meant to connect with that part because again I'm not a parent. I don't know. I feel like that's about it for the most part. Oh, Noah, Mariah, and Tess was all they decided to all be the officiaries because um, I don't know, joke and humor or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, that part of the story just didn't really work for me. If it worked for you, that's great. You know what? If it worked for you, please tell me why. I'm not going to sit there and judge. It just, I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to these shows, it just comes down to a matter of perspective. You know, I think other people could sit there and look at the wedding stuff and the scenes and with Ali and Noah and Tessa Mariah, and they would really enjoy it. I look at the scene and I see something differently, but that's what perspective is. That's why I think I said in the beginning, because I kind of did this again, was that it was a mixed bag. The Nate, the Devon stuff, the Victoria, Victor, Nick stuff. That was interesting. That was interesting. I mean, let's be honest. For me personally, anytime that Victor's doing something, he's in the scene doing anything, it's pretty interesting. But that stuff is great. But I always have to sit there and try to remember that a lot of these soap operas they run on a different energy, and it's not bad. I think that's what makes them really great, and unique. A lot of the stuff was in this episode like about romance and touchy feely moments between a father and a daughter, calling her Supergirl and everything like that. Um, just a whole family gathering, just having a good time, and not really a lot of drama, a lot of conflict, just something more positive as opposed to days where it's just like, oh, you're stepping back, so I can respect it. I mean, it may not resonate with me, but I can respect it. Anyway, I feel like that's about it. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Have a great, safe weekend, and if everything works out the way I want it to, which most of the times it doesn't, but if it does, we go on live Sunday at 6 New York Eastern Pacific Standard Time, Sunday. I don't know if I said Sunday, but yeah, Sunday. And yeah, I feel like that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.